One good thing about Docuware is we're extremely scalable. So the answer is any vertical. I have doctors, hospitals, I've got logistics, I've got shipyards, I've got small people, mom and pop businesses that work with like a QuickBooks system that want to help with automation and file management. We work with any department, any vertical, and we're very scalable from small to enterprise. And that's what brings the beauty of Docuware. Cost efficiency, bringing in to reduce your efficiencies and make you better as well.
Welcome to Business Ninjas, brought to you by WriteForMe, where you'll hear from business leaders who are out there growing their business and slaying it every day. Learn from the masters. Let's get started.
Hi, and welcome to another episode of Business Ninjas. I'm here today with Mike Reno, Regional Sales Director at Docuware. How you doing today, Mike?
I'm doing great. How are you today?
I am excellent, thank you. Appreciate you spending some time with us.
No
Please
problem.
tell us a little bit about yourself and about Docuware.
Yeah, man. My name is Mike Reno. I live in Gainesville, Florida. I'm a huge Florida Gators fan, so go Gators! Get big chomp. There we go. I've been in this industry overall for roughly about 17 years, but not way of a typical what a normal salesperson would go through, I guess. So my route came about with working with a small dealer here in Gainesville and learning about major manufacturers in the copier world, which was be some Ricos. And then I worked my way up the ladder in the IT side of that. So becoming more of an IT guy helped me learn a little bit about sales with the copier, but also I could talk with all these other C-level industry people and all these higher level IT guys, right? So that's where I kind of went with my career. And from there, I started working for other manufacturers like Konica Minolta, then there was Xerox, and that's when I was introduced to Docuware, document management solutions. So about 17-year journey to get here, but it's been an amazing time.
Excellent. Hey, all those experiences give you, a sort of 360-degree perspective that can only help moving forward, right?
Absolutely.
Understanding more aspects of a business can only help. So tell us a little bit about Docuware and what you do there and what they do.
Absolutely. Yeah. Docuware is an online content management platform. So we have online, we have on premise. But what I call this really is the multi-tool of the content management world. So we have all kinds of different aspects that we help businesses with. One of our prime areas, our niche that we work in is accounts payable with invoice processing. We are able to take some invoices and start reading the information, line item data, vendor name, total, tax, and start grabbing that data and using it for workflows to get approvals, adding in different accounting codes that may go with it. And then finally, we're going to do no data entry into most ERP programs, which is the goal with automation and APIs.
Excellent. And how long has Docuware been around? What's the origin story there?
We are celebrating our 35th year this year as a company. With Docuware being a German-based home company, they were originally purchased by Rico in the last 9 years. It's been a great partnership and a great growth. But with Docuware, we've never changed our tune. Some companies may start off as something separate and see a niche and grow into it. Not at all. Docuware's always been in the content management field and always built around those processes.
Hey, that's excellent. So continuity and growth over 35 years is key. What verticals are you serving at this point?
The one good thing about Docuware is we're extremely scalable. So the answer is any vertical. I have doctors, hospitals, I've got logistics, I've got shipyards, I've got small people, mom and pop businesses that work with like a QuickBooks system that want to help with automation and file management. We work with any department, any vertical, and we're very scalable from small to enterprise. And that's what brings the beauty of Docuware. Cost efficiency, bringing in to reduce your efficiencies and make you better as well.
Excellent. And what are the common problems you're solving for your clients?
A lot of the common problems is capturing of data. So, when we go to the doctor's office, we got to write our name at the top and our social security all the time, right? We can automate forms in that fashion so we don't have to repeat that information. We can overlay it on top of your forms. And that's one way of capturing data to put into our system, which now could turn into maybe a workflow or a tracking of a resume, in case, maybe we're submitting invoices for approvals. We could also talk about contract management, tracking the end of invoice dates and making sure we don't skip anything that's auto renewed that we don't want to be with anymore. Maybe it's just a vendor we just decide we're going to cut ties with. We don't want to skip that contract. And that's what Docuware is going to start bringing to the table, is helping you with managing your data and managing the document lifecycle that goes along with it.
Oh, it sounds like an infinitely applicable and scalable system. So sort of infinite use cases.
Absolutely, which makes it very unique in that why we customize some of the build out. And I don't like to say it's a full customization. We're mainly configuring it, because after 35 years, we've come up with these pre-configured solutions that are good bases to start with, to where we can just make some tweaks. That reduces the install time for what people in our industry are used to seeing of 3 to 6 to 9 months to maybe 4 weeks or 2 weeks, depending on the complexity.
Wow, that's very cost effective. And what makes you guys stand out from your competition?
We're growing. We were a small company. We invested in our R&D, and we want to be the best of the best. So we want to make sure we match what that magic quadrant from Gartner wants us to be, and what the world really expects from a growth of a company. So the way we give the ability to build APIs, if you have smart people who can build connectors and go all that route, but we also have the open ability to talk to other programs and share information more easily than other systems allow you to. We have URL integration with other programs, so you can have like mini portals opened up for people to search into. And then also the audit trails. That's the key, I think, especially when we get into contracts and we start talking about invoice processing and accounting, is making sure we have the right documentation, the who, the what, the when, the where, and the why at that time of need. And then get those auditors out of there. We're going to help you speed that process up and not let them sit there and just be in your way all the time. I've been through that in other corporations, and it's horrible. So here's some information, get it out the door quick so they're not there no more. That's where I think we really stick out.
Yeah, these days, the biggest challenge in digital transformation is leveling the playing field, because there's so many legacy systems, there's so much siloed data, and you have to make it all accessible and the data usable. It sounds like you're able to do that.
Absolutely. And I don't do it alone. I have several partners in the state of Florida that I work with and help manage that side of the business too. So sometimes the most complex jobs may go to a partner of mine. Sometimes I may keep something for myself. It just all depends in my mood or how complex the job is.
Your mood. Gotcha. And is there any particular size of company you work best with?
We're best fit with that 5 to 200 user system. That's where we best fit inside of there. That way you can have read-only users, workflow users, but it doesn't mean we can't scale up higher. We definitely can, and that's where we're growing to, and that's where we anticipate to be in that higher growth period. But right now, that sweet bubble is 5 to 200.
Excellent. And in terms of growth, tell me about the COVID years and the challenges and obstacles and opportunities, and how you were able to grow Docuware through the COVID years.
That's a very interesting question to start with here, because that's when I started with Docuware, was December of 2019.
Oh boy.
I went through a 60-day training program up in New York City at our home office. And right after I got back in the field, did one trip of my boss to visit customers, done. It was it. I was shut down. Good thing is, in my previous role, I was already doing a lot of virtual items, because I cover the entire state of Florida for Docuware, and I did that in my previous role too. So I was really good at getting into virtual situations, virtual rooms, and doing product demos. So getting into knowing my customers wasn't hard for me, and hard for me to succeed. So in Florida, I did show growth. It wasn't a lot of growth, but yes, we did show some growth. My market was roughly sitting at about I think I've done about a 75% growth over the last 3 years compared to where I picked it up. I hit my first $1 million mark in the state of Florida this year, which was a big accomplishment for me and the company in this market. So I was really proud to pull that off and make sure that Florida is getting represented the way it should be.
Excellent. Excellent. All right. Put on your marketing cap for a second. What role has content played in the growth of Docuware?
Content is very important at this point. So when we have sign up a partner, our marketing team helps them develop a marketing strategy, whether they have a team or not. And it's not a huge We're not doing all the SEOs. We're not doing websites. We're talking just Docuware platform stuff. So we're talking brochures, leave behinds. We help you do lead generation. We help you put on events. And that's where my role comes in to help with that. So the marketing makes all this content available to not only me, but our partners on the end, so I can guide them to where they need to go. We've done marketing drip campaigns that have been done with emails. We've done direct campaigns where we had reps go out and start handing stuff out again, QR code campaigns. Content is extremely important, especially on the social media side. Now, I'm in the copier industry with most of my partners. It is tending to be the crowd who doesn't know TikTok, they don't know the Facebook, the YouTube shorts, right? And I'm convincing them this is where we need to go. And a lot of the generation my age, our age, are starting to form that in our industry. I'm just starting to see a lot more presence. So we're working on it. It's getting better. We're getting good people in the marketing role to help out with that. But from our perspective, we try to give as much content and documentation available to them. And then I want people like you to partner with to help maybe with other people as well when it gets to a deeper part of the process.
Music to my ears. People are consuming content in different ways, in different lengths, in different outlets, and we have to go fishing where the fish are.
Especially when they don't know what they don't know.
We have to engage and educate people, period.
Absolutely.
And content is the pathway to doing that, because we're not across the desk from them as often as we'd like to be anymore, right?
Exactly.
I hear you. All right. Look in your crystal ball. 1 year from today, what would you like to be celebrating personally and professionally?
1 year from today, professionally, I want to be celebrating a $2 million mark with 15 partners in the state of Florida. I think that is extremely acceptable to do, and it is our current plan and our current goal to maintain for this fiscal year of our plan. Personally, I want to grow more on my leadership skills to continue my growth path more from just being a marketing representative who's the manufacturer representative who knows the product inside and out. But I want to start leading a team. I want to start putting some of that together at some point and start developing those skills. One thing I would say unique when we asked about where I came from is I did not go to college. I grew up on the streets here, and I say in the copier world, the school of hard knocks, but I've made my path up this way and learned and been able to grow and maintain with what the world needs, the business needs, has been very exciting for me as well.
That's a beautiful story, and I wish you all the best. And here, I thought you were just going to say you wanted the Gators to celebrate a national championship or something.
No, we got 2 more years for that. I ain't gonna lie. We got some more time. We got to get through this SEC schedule first.
All right, please tell everyone what URL is, where we can find Docuware, and what social media outlets you're currently using.
We are on all social media platforms now. We have just released our Instagram account. You can find us on Facebook. We're on LinkedIn, and then also at www.docuware.com. You can find me on LinkedIn as well, and I have post all the time on content for Docuware. So there's all the information you can find for us in all the platforms, especially YouTube.
Excellent. Mike Reno of Docuware, I wish you and yours all the best and continued success. I hope you reach all your goals at Docuware, and thank you for spending some time with us today on Business Ninjas.
Thanks for having me, man. Great being here. Thanks.
My pleasure. Be well.